Hearing next week will consider Jason Corley's lawsuit seeking to reinstate his position as Lubbock County Commissioner. Corley filed a suit Monday after County Judge Curtis Parrish removed him from office. Parrish claims Corley became a candidate for Congress in November when he announced an exploratory committee and used Corley for Congress stationery. Parrish cited state law that a state county commissioner automatically resigns when becoming a candidate for another office more than a year and 30 days before the end of his or her current term. But Corley's lawsuit claims the county judge relied on an extremely broad definition of candidate. Corley's legal action is actually filed against Mark Muir, the person who Parrish swore into office Monday to replace Corley in Precinct 2. And Corley requested a temporary restraining order to keep Muir from taking that seat, but that request has been denied by visiting senior judge Patrick